Okay, Valentina, could you briefly state your business and what you do for a living?
All right. I am Valentina Visintin, and I'm from Italy, and I am a prosthetic makeup artist.
Thank you very much. So, did you have an arts education? And if so, where and what did you study?
Yes, I have an art education,
Yeah.
and I've always been an arty child. So my parents were good enough to send me to art schools since the beginning. So I went to an artistic high school, and where I studied fine arts. We did a lot of drawing, a lot of painting, and a bit of design as well, and a bit of sculpting. We started with clay and doing plaster molds and a bit of latex. I mean, it was really good fun. And then I couldn't choose my university, so I went into scenography, which is a set design basically, and because I wanted to stay close to the world of the entertainment industry, and I was still on the search of a job that would allow me to do all the arts, like not choosing to be a painter or a sculptor or a designer. I wanted to do everything, and I thought, well, maybe set building props is kind of what I want. And when we were presented the script to work on, to design the sets, I found more interesting the story of the characters. So I was looking into the characters' appearance, and I was spending more time designing the characters than the actual sets where they were moving in.
Yeah.
So I realized that maybe I should have focused on the characters. And I went to a beauty school, and actually it was. He wanted to be a complete makeup course in Milano, but the focus was mainly on beauty, and I found out that the foundations of effects that we made were really like not exhaustive. They were just the basic stuff, so a lot of latex, a lot of plaster flat molds.
Yeah.
And I was looking a lot of behind the scenes videos from the DVDs of films, and I was noticing that when they were filming the workshop where the things were made, the techniques were different from what we got from school. So I had this hunger for more, and when I studied, it was 2005, I believe, and there was no Facebook yet, no YouTube, and it was very difficult because internet was a bit slow still.
Yeah.
You could find pictures and download them, but you couldn't really watch videos. So all the information I got were from magazines, and I tried some Fangoria magazines, or looking online. I found websites like it was the Makeup FX Lab. I think it was. There was it's called a forum. It was called a website where people were writing each other, like blogs.
Sure, yeah.
And I remember Lars Carlson's website. He had a few information on books.
It's a massive website, isn't it?
Yeah. It's been really helpful because I got to know books from America, like the two-dimensional techniques of two-dimensional makeup, and other books from Dick Smith or other artists. I bought those, and then I got to know more products, and I started to experiment at home.
Yeah.
So with the knowledge that I got from school about modeling with plastiline, doing some very basic plaster molds and using latex, I was experimenting at home. And then in order to be able to do more, I was working in the fashion industry because Milan is where I am from.
Yeah,
it's a big place for fashion, so I could work with photographers that were doing the books for young models getting into the industry. So with those small jobs, I could pay the materials to do my experiments.
Amazing, yeah.
And then at the same time I finished the university, which I didn't want to leave. So I finished my 4 years course, and I attended my makeup school in the second year. So I kind of finished the 4 years course doing also jobs in the makeup industry and doing my experiments. So I built up a portfolio basically at the end of it. And I showed it to the few companies that I knew in Italy. I wrote to makeup artists that I knew from the film credits that I liked, so I looked up for name of the makeup artist in Italy and tried to contact them with with letters posted. There was no text, no WhatsApps. I mean, I just barely had a phone that was not a smartphone. So everything was a bit more difficult than now.
Yeah.
You can just type a name on Facebook and find whoever you want and talk to him from the other side of the world. At that time it was like find a name and then find if he's on the phone list, or if he on the internet, if he's got like an email or something, write him or just post him stuff. It was exhausting. But eventually I got some feedbacks, and I tried to work in Italy with no success, unfortunately, because the industry was really small, run by people that try to pass their jobs from generation to generation, so it was really hard to get started.
Yeah.
But I believed in my skills and I wanted to pursue the dream. So I decided to contact people from America. So I started to contact Rick Baker, I contacted Dick Smith, and the people that I thought were cool from the films a lot.
Yeah.
I remember contacting Michelle Burke from one of my favorite films, which is the Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
And I was really begging for like information. How can I get into the industry? Or Rob Berman also he answered me, and they all said, "But look."
So some of them did answer you as well.
Yeah, most of them did. Actually, more than the Italian guys.
Wow.
So they said, look, the problem in America is the visa for people coming from abroad. So I was like, oh, how can I do it? And they said, but look, in London there is an industry, a big industry, and I didn't know any of it because there was no socials, there were no YouTube or whatever. And I didn't know that London was so prolific. So I started to look in the internet for more, places where to send my portfolio, and I found Neil Gorton, I found Nick Dutman, I found a few other artists, and then I started to contact them instead. And Neil Gorton gave me my first opportunity.
Did he? You worked for Neil first?
Yeah, I remember the email that I wrote to him actually. I offered my services as a cleaner in his workshop, and I was like, if you allow me to clean your workshop, and if I can only just look at what you're doing, because I've got no place to learn otherwise, and I don't want to give up. And he said, okay, I like your portfolio, and because luckily I put together this picture, so in my researches and experimentation. Yeah. And he liked it, and he gave me 2 weeks trial that became 7 months of work.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's
it was
amazing.
awesome. And then I came back for Christmas because the 7 months ended on like Christmas time. So I went back home and I was like, oh, what shall I do? Shall I go back and move, and I decided to give it a try. First I went in Spain to do a film because I knew a makeup artist that was starting on the job, and I worked for Plan 9. It's Nacho Diaz, he's a very good prosthetic makeup artist that sometimes is at the IMAX. He did a demo on Monterribe a few years ago.
Okay.
And he gave me a job there for a few months, and then I moved back to the UK again and started working non-stop for 7 years.
And did you work for Nick afterwards on Harry Potter movies?
I did work on the 7th Harry Potter movie, yes.
Yeah.
Because when I just arrived in 2007, I believe, I was staying at a home in Cheshire with one of the what's it called? I don't remember the name in English now. I've been in Italy for too long, I'm forgetting my vocabulary. One of the housemates was renting a room, and she was working on the 6th episode.
Okay.
And or the 5th, I don't remember, it was ages ago. And she tried to give me an interview, to organize an interview, but I couldn't do it for the 6th film. So I went back in 2009 for an interview, and they were getting people for the 7th.
Sure, yeah.
And I got an opportunity there, so I worked there for about 6 months. And then I went to Clash of the Titans. Yeah. And then things were just following. I went on the first Game of Thrones. At Conor O'Sullivan's. I went on X-Men First Class. Yeah. And what else did I do here? A lot of films I don't remember. Well, I came back and forward to Millennium FX. Yeah. I did a few Doctor Who episodes and Sarah Jane Adventures, Torchwood, and a few other bits and bobs. Yeah. And I have to mention the Iron Maiden job because they do sometimes the stage props for the Iron Maiden tour. and they do the working costume.
Yeah.
They're working at some point of the Iron Maiden show when they play the song Iron Maiden. There's this massive mascot.
I know the
yeah.
the Iron Maiden
Eddie.
mascot. Yeah, yeah.
And so Millennium FX makes them.
Wow.
And I got to paint a couple of those within the year. So
that's a personal goal.
personal goal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A massive achievement.
Yeah, no, that would put a smile on my face as well, probably.
It was insane, yeah, because we had to deliver it as well.
Oh,
so
did you?
we went to the rehearsal place for Iron Maiden. I was like, yeah.
Did you meet them?
I got to meet Bruce Dickinson, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's a nice little moment, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember in the same way any other meeting with any actors. But if
Yeah.
you tell me what's the most important meeting in your career, I could say Bruce Dickinson. Why? Do you want to put another question? Because I think I'm
Yeah,
going
sure. No, it's cool. I think we might have answered a couple on the way. So the next one was going to be, do you think your arts education helped you to get where you are now? Was it useful?
Yeah, I can say that the art education that helped me most is the fine arts background, the fine arts school, because all the techniques involved.
Transferable skills, yeah.
Totally transferable, and also gave me a lot of knowledge on colors and shapes and things that sometimes
Form
we
and
forget.
texture,
Yeah,
patination, yeah.
Because it's not just about the face and the character, it's about the technique as well. There's a lot of manuality involved, but also knowledge of how the color work together, how the materials work together, and it's very important. The makeup school was great because it gave you the opportunity to work on a face in a safe environment. Like instead of experimenting at home with no knowledge on safety and skin safety, it was really good because we were supervised to touch another face. Which product were good to put on, and even timing, the position, just those things that a teacher can correct. Like you don't have to hug the person when you're working, or maybe you stay too close and it's uncomfortable. It's small things that
professionalism
make
and that
difference.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
But I think the school in Milan was not offering an updated level of knowledge on, especially on special effects.
Yeah.
And it was not the fault of my teacher, because I hate to say this thing, because when I say these words, and I said it to many people from Italy, like that school sometimes don't offer an updated
version of the course.
It's not always the fault of the teachers, but it's because the school are not interested in investing in the materials. So when they are presented the bill for expensive materials like silicone or whatever other resins to make the molds, and it's a problem of our country, it's not from England, of course.
No, sure.
This makes everything difficult. In fact, I started to teach myself at a couple of schools because I wanted to offer a higher level of knowledge, not because I am the superstar, but because I've seen different techniques in England. And I wasn't able to buy stuff, so in the end we had to stick with the older techniques with the simplest materials. And I was not happy, so I stopped teaching at school. I decided it's not my thing. I only teach private classes when there is a time, or if a few people ask me the same class, for instance, a few people ask about silicone painting, I would organize a class just for them. And I don't organize like scheduled things like within the year. I don't think it's my thing, but I'm happy to share my knowledge, so I organize a lot of activities, and I did the event in Italy for this reason, to spread at least a visual standard, so people can see different things from what they see from at school, and understand that there's more. So if they didn't come like abroad to IMAX or other shows, at least they can see something different and more updated, or a higher level of finishing and quality, and connect that school is not enough. They need to do something more. So either exercise at home or go to a master class. It's not the formation doesn't end at school. It keeps on.
I think you keep learning forever, don't you?
But you also have to push yourself to do it. It's not just.
You've got to be. I think people,
You got to be committed to it.
it's often something that people love doing, so it's not like hard work, it's like doing what you love doing, so you want to keep learning more, don't you? It's like a
and,
good
and it's very much
thing.
like learning to play an instrument. Like
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
go to school to know the foundation, but then it's all about your exercise.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So, I guess I think we've covered a couple of the other questions. So if I jump through to what is the best aspect of your job, Valentina?
The best aspect of my job is, I think, teamwork. I
Yeah.
love to be surrounded by people with different abilities, and because I love to eat with my eyes what they do.
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
And it's great when I share things around or get people that tell me different ways to do things. And
Yeah.
I just enjoy the company of artists because it's like a volcano of ideas. I really like this.
No, absolutely, yeah.
The human aspect of it.
Yeah,
Because otherwise I was gonna be an artist on my own. So I think this is one of the first biggest thing that I love. And of course, if you ask about the technical aspect, I love hyperrealism, so it's something that I'm naturally drawn to. It's
sure, yeah.
Try to achieve the most realistic
Yeah,
thing I can do. So I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I like precision and all this OCD things. You know, when you have to highly concentrate and do precision work, I think.
Okay, that's a great answer. What would you say is the worst aspect of your job?
The worst aspect of the job is the times, like when you're on
Long hours, you mean?
hours,
Yeah,
because you got to really learn how to keep alive and make sure you take care of it, like private life and your own life. Like you need to stay healthy, stay focused, and you need to put yourself in the condition to do it even if you're working hard.
yeah.
And so this is a bit challenging. And also what I don't like now that I am growing and I'm starting to design my own jobs and becoming more, higher responsibilities and stuff. I don't like to deal with money too much.
Okay,
I fight
yeah.
for money, especially with producers and stuff. But it's interesting because it's another challenge, so I will just go on with it and try to make my best because I've got to learn even this. So that's the next step, I think.
So I have another question. Do you have any tips or tricks for young artists entering the industry?
Yeah, the tips is don't rely too much on the social.
Yeah,
in terms of don't try to learn in a new way, just looking at pictures of other makeup artists that do thousands of repetition of the same jobs.
Sure, yeah.
Just keep it simple. So if you like a film or if you like a character, try to learn as much as you can to reproduce it. Maybe get all the information and choose one thing but do it well. Like choose a personal project and just try to do the best of all the steps involved.
Yeah.
Because this will teach you a lot on how to resolve issues and stuff. Because sometimes it's a bit overwhelming. You're surrounded by thousands of images online of artists that are amazing, and you say, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this or that." And I think now it's a bit more difficult than for us because there's too many inputs, and it's difficult to start a simple thing and do it, finish it. I would say the classical personal project is one of the best business cards because you can take a picture of all the process and then have something to show to future employers. So show your skills. Don't be afraid to show yourself. And if you get feedbacks, they're the best thing you can get, even if they are bad feedbacks for you.
So if someone comes and says something constructively,
exactly.
you need to
Seek
take it that way.
Constructive advice, and not only the pat on the shoulder that say.
Absolutely,
So try to expose yourself as much as you can.
Yeah.
Because first adrenaline is good.
Yeah.
I'd say because It's something you got to get out of the comfort zone. If I had a tip, I think it would be probably based on my same experience. So choose a personal project that you can do from start to finish and take a picture of all the steps. So you can use all those images to show what you can do. And don't be afraid to seek for constructive opinions about your work. Show it to all the people that you think they are valuable, or company bosses or colleagues that you estimate, and teachers, whatever. Try to show what you can do. Be simple and stay focused, because you need to be really committed to this job, because it needs a lot of exercise. So I think exercise and take a picture of all the passages, whatever you do.
Yeah.
If you are experimenting a technique, or if you're doing a full project, take loads of
all the
pictures
process all the way through.
And you will see also your progressions by taking pictures.
Okay.
I think that's the best. It worked for me, so I showed exactly that, what I could do in my personal projects.
It definitely has,
It definitely helped. And I also put pictures of a job that I used to do, which was airbrush illustrations.
Oh
I bought an airbrush when I was 18 just because I loved the illustrations on the album covers from the metal groups. And I started to copy those, and I just put them in the portfolio as well, because I thought it was good to show that I could airbrush. I couldn't airbrush monsters, but I could airbrush. And in fact, Neil Gorton, I think, gave me an opportunity because he needed some painters, and he told me that it was good that he knew that I could airbrush, even though if I couldn't airbrush monsters, because I still didn't know the techniques applied to special effects, but I could use the...
You knew how to use the tools.
Yeah, the tools.
Yeah.
So if you have other artistic skill, I would put them in anyways, because it tells something more about yourself. It's good. Okay.
Thank you so much, Valentina.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.